All right, so you want the inside scoop on this Aston Villa Fulham match.
Yeah.
3-1.
Absolutely.
Not just a recap.
We're going deep.
We're going full tactics nerd here.
Yeah, this is a good one to go deep on.
Get ready to, like, drop some serious knowledge on all your buddies after this deep dive.
And trust me, this wasn't just another win. This match was like a masterclass in what Unai Emery is building at Villa.
Yeah, it really felt like it had a little bit of everything,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I think this is why I found it so interesting. You got Fulham scores first.
Right.
Raul Jimenez, his first Premier League goal since March 2022. You'd love to see that.
Absolutely love to see Raul back.
But then Villa just, like, I don't know, flipped a switch or something.
Look, it's a sign of a well-coached team, right?
Mm.
Fulham had their game plan.
Right.
But Emery, he's got this knack. I don't know what it is, but
Mm.
he can sniff out weaknesses, and then he just exploits them. And you can even see it in the way Villa have scored their goals this season. They ended up scoring a whopping 60% of their goals this season from crosses.
Wow.
Way higher than the league average.
Really?
So they knew
Interesting.
coming in Fulham, we got to target their wings, and, well, you saw the result.
And this is where it gets really interesting because this wasn't just about sending crosses in, you know, just like hoping for the best.
Oh, no.
Like, this was a very clear tactical, like, choice, I feel like, because we saw like 3 different formations from Villa throughout this match.
Exactly. They'd start in a 4-3-3.
Yep.
Then when they won possession, boom, they'd shift into more of a 3-4-3 Matty Cash. And Yuri Tielemans basically became wingers, stretching Fulham's defense paper thin.
And that's how their second goal happens.
Exactly.
Tielemans with like the pinpoint cross,
Yeah.
Watkins with the header. I mean,
Classic Emery ball.
it really is, though.
Textbook.
Like, you could just see it coming together.
Yep.
And speaking of Watkins, did you catch how he, like, completely manipulated Fulham's backline in this game?
Yeah.
There's this one play where he makes this diagonal run, and he just, like, drags 2 defenders with him, leaving McGinn wide open at the top of the box.
It's beautiful.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about, like, these little things that you don't always notice on first watch,
Right.
but it makes all the difference.
Absolutely. Watkins is so much more than just a goal scorer.
Yeah.
He creates chaos in the final third, and Villa thrives in that chaos.
Right.
He's a menace.
But let's rewind a bit to that second goal, because that came from a corner, right?
Right.
Another set piece for Villa. I mean, they are becoming scarily good at those.
Scarily good might be an understatement. At this point in the season, no one in the Premier League had scored more from set pieces than Aston Villa. They're averaging almost 2 goals a game from dead ball situations.
2 goals a game. That's like having a cheat code.
It's ridiculous.
What's the secret sauce? I mean, are they just that good at free kicks and corners, or is there something more there?
It's not just luck.
Right.
They've turned set pieces into a science. They have dedicated coaches, they analyze their opponent's weaknesses, and they practice these routines meticulously.
Mm-hmm.
Every player knows exactly where to run, who to mark, who to free up. It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance.
A dance that usually ends with the ball in the back of the net.
Exactly.
Speaking of being in the right place at the right time, we have to talk about John McGinn. This guy was everywhere in this match.
McGinn is the engine of that Villa midfield. He covers so much ground, breaking up Fulham's attacks and then turning defense into offense in the blink of an eye.
And he even gets on the score sheet.
Of course he does.
His goal right before halftime, that felt like a backbreaker for Fulham.
It was a killer blow for sure. But let's not forget Fulham's side of the story. They weren't completely outclassed, at least not in that first half.
True. Remember that missed penalty by Andreas Pereira?
Oh, yeah.
I swear I held my breath for a full minute there.
It was a crucial moment in the match.
Mm-hmm.
Pereira is usually so reliable from the spot,
Yeah.
but this time he seemed hesitant. Almost like he knew Emiliano Martinez had his number.
Goalkeepers can have that effect, though. It's like a mental game within a game.
Absolutely. And you could see the momentum shift. After that miss, Fulham had a chance to equalize, maybe even take the lead, but instead they went into halftime deflated, and Villa came out re-energized.
And then, of course, the red card for Joachim Andersen changed everything. Taking down Ollie Watkins with only a few minutes left in the first half, never a good idea.
Especially not against a team as clinical as Villa. Once Fulham went down to 10 men, it felt like a matter of time before Villa capitalized.
And capitalize they did.
Oh, yeah.
Issa Diop with the unfortunate own goal. You could just feel the frustration building for Fulham.
It was a tough break for Fulham, no doubt. But it also highlighted Villa's relentless attacking mentality. Even with the 2-goal lead, they didn't let up. They kept pressing, forcing Fulham into mistakes. That's what Emery brings to the table, a winning mentality from the first whistle to the last.
Yeah, you're right. Even with that comfortable lead, they were still hunting for more goals.
Yeah.
It's like they could smell blood in the water.
That's what impressed me most. So many teams would have sat back,
Right.
tried to, see out the clock.
Mm.
Not Villa. They have this hunger, this desire to dominate, and that comes from Emery.
Yeah.
He just oozes it.
Okay, but let's talk about Fulham for a second here, because it did feel like they had moments, especially early on, where they could have turned the tide
Yeah.
in this match.
They definitely had their chances.
Yeah.
That missed penalty looms large, but they also had a few clear-cut opportunities in open play that they just didn't convert.
And that's it, right? It's that old saying, you got to be clinical.
Yep.
In front of goal. Especially against a team like Villa, who can punish you for even like the smallest mistake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And to Fulham's credit, they were playing with 10 men for a good chunk of that match.
Right.
It's tough to create chances when you're down a man.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Speaking of tough, I always find it fascinating to hear from the managers after a match like this.
Oh, always.
What were their takes on this game?
Yeah, Unai Emery, as you might expect, was very pleased with the result and the performance.
Why, of course.
But he also emphasized that there are still areas they need to improve, especially defensively. He's not letting them get complacent.
Classic Emery. Always striving for perfection. What about Marco Silva? I imagine he was pretty frustrated with how things unfolded.
He was definitely disappointed, but you could also sense a bit of pride in his words.
Okay.
He knows his team is capable of playing at this level.
Yeah.
But consistency is the key. They need to find a way to string together results if they want to climb the table.
It's almost like they're playing two different games sometimes.
Right.
Where they look brilliant in flashes, but then those lapses in concentration, those missed opportunities, they come back to bite them.
Exactly. It's a young team, still finding their identity. The talent is there. It's just about harnessing it week in and week out.
All right, so to wrap this up, what are the big takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with here?
For me, this match was a perfect example of how crucial set pieces and tactical flexibility are in modern football. Villa mastered both, and it's a big reason why they're knocking on the door of European competition.
It's like they have this secret weapon that no one else has figured out how to, defuse yet.
Exactly. And here's something to think about. Can Villa maintain this level of set-piece dominance throughout the season? Or will teams eventually adapt and find ways to counter them? That's the big question.
It's going to be fascinating to watch it play out.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. A deep dive into a match that had everything. Goals, tactical masterclasses, and enough talking points to last us till the next match day. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.